Let this be something motivation to, even though when you wanted to stop, you wanted to give up, man, keep going. Even if a person tell you no 1,000 times, keep going till you hear that one yes. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
that's gonna be what's gonna change your life. And on top of that, that might not be the path God wants us to go down, or whoever people believe in. That might
Mhm.
not be your path. So don't take that as like, oh, they ain't like me or they don't support me.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close, but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BCS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
When we find courage to speak, we give others permission to heal. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Silence podcast, the podcast where I share stories that inspire, empower, and help you find your voice. I am your host, Arthur Nick Nicole, and each week I sit down with some incredible guests who are turning their pain into purpose and making an impact in the world. Today, I'm honored to sit down with North Carolina's own Bigg Baggz, an incredible artist, entrepreneur, and the mastermind behind Good versus Evil. I get to hear firsthand about his journey from DJing with his grandfather, growing up around music, to working with top artists like the Baby, Project Fat, and others. So today he's going to share his story of how he turned his struggles into success and give us the inside scoop of his new album, Good versus Evil. So after his countdown, please welcome this amazing guest to the platform.
50, blue face 100, locked away captivity. Lulu my drink with Zulu King, while Hooligan let me explain. We play no games, we locked in focus, having motion. Ain't about cash, don't say a thing, we having shit. Fire design to do the dash. I'm pumping my shit when I'm counting cash. Who else but the wolf and big bag? I get money, I get money. I get money, baby, I get money. I get money, I get money. I get money, baby, I get money. I get money, I get money. I get money, baby, I get money. I get money, I get money. I get money, baby, I get money. Can't talk, ain't about money, pocket, quit, walk, blue.
All right, so first I want to say thank you for coming and being a guest on my platform and allowing me to shine the light on you. So tell everybody in a short form now, who is Bigg Baggz?
Hey, first off, you all know what it is, man. It's Bigg Baggz, not the little one, Mr. Interstate. I'm out of North Carolina, Norwood, Almar to be exact, man. I'm just a country boy, man. We living them dreams right now. You already know. Hey, but first off, you got the dopest intro ever I done had on any podcast I've been on. Y'all podcast need to follow her, bro. Her intro is so hard. Salute you. That shit so dope, bro.
Thank you. Man. So now I gotta take you back a little bit.
All right.
When did you first fall in love with the mic?
Um, so 8, 9 years old, everybody know this classic movie, Harlem Nights. You remember when Eddie? I'm Eddie in Harlem Nights. My
Oh,
grandpa owned the club. He was one of the biggest DJs. So I always been, like I was born into the music. But and I've been freestyling, for a little bit, just between them years. But my first time actually like knowing that I could do this, I was probably like coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in the streets, like, a lot of us tend to come from. You feel me? So that was like on the back burner. I'm trying to get to that money. You feel me?
Hmm.
But a little bit after I got out of high school, then I knew like, okay, it just chose me, and I've been holding on ever since then.
Now you done messed up because you said you can freestyle. Now you know I'm going to ask you to freestyle, right?
Hey, I mean, I can drop a little something for you. You know that.
Go ahead. Go. Let's see what you're working with.
Look, you want to book me? Gonna cost you a 50. Just got the coupe and it came with a digi. Nobody do it like me in the city. Dump a whole 100, you know he gonna hit it. Plus, send it to me, ain't gotta go get it. Run up the back and go buy me a Richie. Came out the slum, ate out the trenches. All of my niggas, they standing on business. It
Now
was something
everybody
like,
can freestyle. Everybody can freestyle. Now, how did you learn to freestyle? Was it something natural, or was it something you had to learn?
it was just one of them things like me chilling with my family and we out, and then we just doing it, just coming off the top, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we will rap about what we're doing. So when you rapping about what you're doing, it make it more fluid and more easier and not trying to be something that you're not. So,
Mhm.
at first I wasn't that good. I was garbage. I ain't even gonna front act like I've been the best at what I'm saying, at the time when I jumped off the porch. But as time progressed and more I did it, like, what I'm saying, that's how I could freestyle. But when I'm doing my music, I can freestyle, but I like to write, like, so I can get more intimate with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So now we got to get the reason why we're here. Let's
All right.
talk about your new album release. Now you named it Good. Was it Good versus Evil, or is it Good times Evil?
So really, the it's good and evil. So the X, like when you do features, sometime you put good, the letter X, and the person, or evil. So it's good and evil, but we just use the X instead of what we use the and. So it's good and evil.
So how did you come up with this name for the album, and what's the story behind it?
So it originally originated from my clothing line, which is good and evil. So pretty much my clothing line and my brand, I came up with that one day. I always said I wanted to come up with my own line, but not just a line, but a brand, something that's bigger than just clothes. And I was just, I used to smoke and whatever, and one day it just hit me, man. I was talking to guy and he just slapped me with it, and that's like it's a global thing. So it can identify with any race, any type of person. So, and the good and evil, the actual meaning behind it, like with my logo, is like the baby, that's your most vulnerable point in your life as a person. Either somebody gonna teach you good or they're gonna teach you evil. You feel me? So that's how good and evil was born. By that's the whole thing. And I was in my car, and it was just one of them days. So the reason I named my project that, for people do research. I just came home from the feds. I went through a point in my life in that, and I'm telling my story. And I'm telling about how I went through the good and the evil part of my story to get to where I'm at with signing my deal with One Nine Music. I got a Sony Orchard distribution, and it's just me telling my story and bringing people to the country, bringing people about, even talking about some about what I went through with getting told on, like all kind of stuff. So that's how Good and Evil, the album, was born, because I'm telling people my story from the good to the evil side of it.
But you know what? You don't have rappers in hip hop anymore that actually has a storyline that they actually
Facts,
went through.
facts,
Like the Nas's, Kendricks. Though you don't have them people anymore. Because back in the day, they actually lived that life. They
facts.
didn't make that up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you're doing that. You're telling your story from your eyes, and you're rapping about it because you lived it.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
So,
And I'm mixing it with trap, because I'm a trap. I'm from the streets. I'm from the thing. So I do got stories to where I'm not talking about that, but I do got stories to where I'm talking about people that's passed in my life. I got with my kids, like certain stuff like that. So I kind of do like a big collective of of a project, instead of me just being in a box. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I try to get I got some for the women, I got some for the hustlers, for the club. Like I got a whole round album. Like it's dope. I feel like anybody listen to it, they ain't gotta like the whole thing, but you gon' like you a song or two or three, if not the whole project.
Now, out of all the songs on this project, which one I'll say which one is the most meaningful for you?
It's gonna be the first one. It's called Real Story.
Mm.
You know, Real Story, and actually the video is dropping to that a week after. It's dropping on the 21st. So Real Story is pretty much me talking about like my life, me going through what I went through, as far as like, how people they'll love you, then they'll leave you. You know
Huh.
what I'm saying? They'll act like, you didn't feed them, you treat them like blood. Like it's about all that. Then it's about, how, I can't believe I got told on this certain stuff. It's really just me kind of putting my real self on the album, you know what I'm saying? So it's the first song, it's called Real Story.
So if you had to, would that song be the one that had the loudest voice on the whole project?
Yeah. As of right now, because I feel like everybody in the world can
Relate.
relate to it. Because
Hmm.
we all done been through whether somebody done did us a certain way, or somebody we don't expect to do us a certain way, or you know what I'm saying, or we done been through some type of down bad part, dark part in our life. And
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And this really like telling you to keep going. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, don't nobody owe us nothing, but still though, we got to keep going for ourselves. You got to believe in yourself, man. You
Right.
got to.
You got to. So now, when the listeners press play for the first time on your album that's coming out, what message do you want them to walk away with?
Um, that I was just like them. I came from nothing and I made it. Like, even though I'm not the youngest rapper, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even claiming to be the best. It's just, I promise you this, when you hear, you gonna know who Bigg Baggz is. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna be at the top of one of the Rushmores of one of the best to do it. But definitely, this is me personally, and people could tell you this is like one of those you could put in and don't even skip. Like I took it back. I even got a couple skits on it. Like I don't took it back to there. With the way you have skits, make it gel all together. Like I even got a skit where somebody that was close to me at the time was talking about me to somebody else, like talking shit to about me, and I put that on the project. You know what I'm saying? So like that, this is real like that. So for anybody to take this project and listen to it, just let it be like you ain't by yourself. Let this be something motivation to, even though when you wanted to stop, you wanted to give up, man, keep going. Even if a person tell you no 1,000 times, keep going till you hear that one yes. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
that's gonna be what's gonna change your life. And on top of that, that might not be the path God wants us to go down, or whoever people believe in. That might
Mhm.
not be your path. So don't take that as like, oh, they ain't like me or they don't support me. Look, all support ain't good support, and all deals ain't good deals.
You
So just
got that.
keep going.
Now you got to be careful. You said no skips.
hmm No
No
skips.
skips.
Listen to it. Let it ride.
Okay, now when you making a song, see, like me, when I listen to a song, I have to feel the beat first. Like if it
Facts.
don't catch me in like the first, I say not even 30 seconds, maybe 5 to 10.
hmm
I'm not gonna hear the lyrics.
Fact.
So what do you think is like the most important between lyrics and the beat? Everything all over that's gonna make a song a hit.
Both of them, it's a marriage.
Mm,
Like it's a marriage. This is how I look at it. I used to, like in my early stage, just to do stuff. I used to write with no beat, but
mm,
then it's more. I ain't gonna say difficult or harder, but
yeah.
it's easier to get the beat and then marry the beat with your lyrics, with your writing, with your art. Because when you got something already wrote, you got to try to make it fit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that'd be like if you with your spouse and y'all was friends first, it'd be easier for you to marry this person instead of you marrying somebody you don't know.
Oh.
So I married it together. So me, I'm a beat forward first person. And when I hear the music, I don't just be selfish and be like, okay, I know they're gonna like this because I like this. No, I put myself in the person, the consumer shoes to be like, damn, will I listen to this?
Right.
Would I rock to this? So I'm like you, the beat for me is first. That's first key for me. And then I just lay my shit to it, what I got to put to it.
I know that's right. So now we can't have this interview without talking about these heavy hitters that you work with. You've
Right?
worked with Baby,
Yep.
Project Pat, Bootsy, Pastor Troy, Jacque, all these big name people. What's one lesson you've learned from being around these major artists that change your whole approach to music?
So it one thing you got to learn with this is even though you do certain things with these artists, you don't that don't mean you made it. That just means you got to work harder. If you can be blessed to be around some of these artists and deal with some of the artists, you need to soak up some of the shit they doing, soak up some of their knowledge, and apply it to what you doing. You know, and because at the end of the day, like I said a little bit ago, little bit before, don't nobody owe us nothing. You feel me? So for you to be in the same room as certain people or to be able to get a song with certain people, like you just need to take that game and soak it up and apply it to what you're doing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then just go hard because one thing about it, people looking, people see. You might not think they watching, but they
Mhm.
watching.
They watch. They
But
watch.
yeah, that's what I would tell anybody like that. And collab with these people because at the end of the day, we can't do this by ourselves. Like you got to get your team, you got to get your business together. Like a lot of that stuff, man, is more than just you going to rap and put it in the booth and put it out. Like it's the music business.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not the hottest music artist. It's the music business.
hmm hmm But it's funny you say that because you remember back in the day, and I say this a lot when I have interviews with artists. They worked hard on their craft. They would stay in the studio for hours on hand, recording the track. Then after all of that, somebody had to vote on it and tell them that it was a hit. And if it wasn't a hit, then they had to turn back around again and record some more to try to get another hit if,
Mhm.
if they didn't get it the first time. But now
Yep.
we just throwing stuff together, put it out there, singing about green eggs, green eggs and ham, and put a good
Hmm.
beat to it, and it's good.
Right.
But
Right.
with the music industry being so oversaturated, how do you stand out with everybody else out there trying to find their voice too?
So one thing about it is you got to have creative control. So if a lot of people don't know what that is, look that up. Creative control. So my label signed me because who I am and because of what I'm already doing. They didn't sign me to change me. So one thing about it, like back then and how time evolved, back then it was different because the the corporate people was running the industry. Now they don't run the industry. Artists run the industry because that's what makes it so different. And the one thing about it is, like the corporate was going off of what they think is the hot song. I like this song, but you can hear a lot of people, a lot of artists, and when they doing their stories, they'll say it was songs that the label didn't like. They put it out, and that motherfucker took off. It blew. So I think back then that's what it was because they were putting up most of the money. That's why they was trying to, make a lot of decisions because a lot of artists didn't have creative control of what they was putting out. Now today, a lot of artists got creative control. You have social media. You don't need no label. Social media is a tool. So if you use it properly, you can be blessed from it. So I feel like, and a lot of people like, oh, social media messed up the game. Da, 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 da." That'd be like saying smartphones messed up the game. Like, no, bro, no, it didn't. You gotta evolve. We're not in the Flintstone ages no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like a lot of people have to get out of their comfort zone and evolve with what's going on. So that's why now you got a lot of artists that's putting out their own thing because now they just figured it out that the labels don't. run the music industry. The artists run the music industry.
That's it. That's it. Things have changed. But I mean, on the flip side, now, half of a cent for your music streaming, that's that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, yeah. But see, no, I agree with you 1,000%. But this is one thing about it. It's like trying to make it make sense. If the person making the game that we play, we can only change the game if we don't play it.
Mm.
If the person making the game we play, we can only change the game if we don't play it. So the
Mm.
only way that shit gonna change if we don't upload our music to these sites for them to make money off of us.
There you go.
And the flip side of that, though, like you saying though, us as people, and I'm only speaking on us black people because I'm black and us. Like we could have been had our own distribution type stuff. I'm not in that area for me to start it myself personally, but for the ones that's the billionaires, millionaires, and all that, like we could have been had our own stuff to where we can treat our fellow people, our black people, or whoever race right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know how it is. It's like the old code in the snitch. I mean, the streets. Shit, he didn't snitch on me, so I can still talk to him.
That part.
So they like, well, if it ain't got nothing to do with me and my music, shit, why should I care about them? Like, yeah, yeah,
It's crazy, right?
yeah. It's crazy. We got to work on that as people ourselves. We got to work on that shit. Even me, I got to work on my own self too. But that's just me planting that seed. Like we can make change, but it got to start with us
Yeah,
first.
be the change. We got to be the change. That's it.
Hmm.
So now every great album has that one track that defines it. So which song on that whole entire project that you feel is the heartbeat of this project and why?
50K, because 50K is me reintroducing myself after I came home from the feds. 50K is letting you know that I'm not 704 bags no more. I'm Bigg Baggz. And this is my value. This is what it's gonna cost you to talk to me. This is what it's gonna cost for you to book me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same no more. This is me letting people know like this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not what yesterday's price is not today's price. So the heartbeat of my thing would be 50K, which is out right now. The song is out and it's one of the singles off of the project and the video out right now, shot by Book TV. But 50K, that's the one right there. Like that thing right there, serious, something serious.
Yeah, I was listening to a snippet of it before we interview. I was like, I can't listen to it right now. I'm gonna have to come back and run that back again. But
There you go.
the
Yeah,
beat, the beat had me. I ain't gonna lie, the beat had me.
yeah, yeah. Facts.
But I did listen to Can't Let Go. I listened to My Biggest Fan. I listened to
Okay.
that. So I've been listening to them all of them. But I don't know. It might be a good album, y'all.
There you go. There you go. That's
Don't
what I'm
keep on.
talking about. Yeah.
So now, besides the album, out of your whole catalog,
Hmm.
what's one song that feels like therapy every time you perform it or every time you hear it, and why? Your whole album, your whole entire catalog.
Right. So, my whole catalog since I've been, ooh, that's deep right there. Um, so right now in my catalog, and that's probably like an over collective of stuff I done. I think one of my songs that was one of my biggest accolades would be the "Back Up Off Me" song with the baby. That would be one of my biggest accolade songs because I'm probably one of the only artists out of our area, like between Charlotte, Almar, where I'm from, that got a feature with the baby. You know what I'm saying? The only other artist was artists on his label and Stunner for Vegas, which he signed him, and he's from Salisbury, so he's from right up the street. But I'm probably one of the only artists that got a feature with bro. And every time I perform that song, it definitely shocked people to hear the baby, the baby, the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't have that on their project. And that's just me giving bro his flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my own lane, I do my own thing, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me giving bro his flowers because bro didn't even charge me for the feature when we did it. Yeah, man, like that's one thing about it. I never be on no, like person owe me something. Oh, he don't owe me nothing. Like he did a feature for me and didn't even charge me. And then when he did the feature, he blew up like 30 days later. He took off. Took off. You know what I'm saying? He was charging for features and stuff then when we did it. But that would be probably right now one of the biggest songs. And also with Project Pat, my song called Law. Like, he's a legend. Like Project Pat 36 Mafia, he's a legend.
Yes, yes, yes.
So them are my two. I got them two right there. Them are my two top. You know what I'm saying? Them are my two top songs. And it's so crazy you say pick one. I really can't because like my two songs, my biggest fan, and I got another song called Low right now. They've been spinned on Power 98, the biggest radio station in Charlotte, North Carolina. Salute my bro DJ Incognito. Like I got two songs right now as an independent artist getting spin on the biggest radio station in Charlotte, damn near North Carolina, Power 98, man. Salute them and the whole team over there.
Wow. So now with so many independent artists, grinding right now,
Hmm.
trying to, get where they're going. What separates you and your release for this project strategy from the rest? Because everybody's different. Some
Right.
artists will put out EPs,
Hmm.
some artists will put out singles, some artists will work on a whole album. So what is your strategy and how does it work for you?
So this time I got a team. I have a team. Any independent artist out there, bro, get you a team, bro. Get you a team. And this is what makes this so different than my last go round when I put out previous projects. So, and this was so crazy, like I'm not just a independent artist. Like my accolades are crazy, and this is not me like bragging. This is me just telling facts. Like I got a whole project called Interstate that was hosted by Trapaholic, Gucci Man DJ. Like this is previous, like this is my past. But for any person, man, what makes me different now, I have a team. So instead of me just dropping a project, like I did both, like you said, I did singles first.
Mm.
And then it led up to my album. And that's what I did differently. And like your marketing has to be right, your promotion. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a team that believes in you, like they're trying to make everybody else believe in you, bro, you can't lose. Like you cannot lose. So really, you got to have a team. Make sure your business is straight. Make sure you got your BMI, your ass cap. Make sure you got your everything is verified. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you got to trademark your name, like you have to make sure your business is together. You know what I'm saying? And just do good business. Like be a stand-up person in this game because the same people you see going up gonna be the same people you see going down.
Whew, you better say that again. Same people. So
Yeah.
now down to the last two questions. These are kind of out of the box questions. When you look back at the man who started this journey and the one who finishing this album, what changed the most in your mindset?
My growth, my growth. And you know what's so crazy? I used to be a person that react first and then think later. Like I didn't even care about the actions after I done what I did it. So what was so crazy is like I don't wish going to prison on nobody. I don't wish nothing like that. But when I went, they had me taking some classes, right? So I was in this program called RDAP. So RDAP is it's a drug supposed to be a drug rehabilitation class, right? So I'm in this class and I'm here thinking like before I take it, I'm here thinking like, oh shit, we finna be talking about drugs and using drugs. Like this is what I'm thinking, right? We get in there, we don't talk about drugs not one time. You know what we talk about? We talk about our thinking process. Because if we stop the thought before it happened, the process will never happen.
Boom.
So yeah, so what I learned from that, and that's what I'm saying, like from the man before and the man now is I think before I react instead of react before I think. I mean react before I think, yeah. So I think before I react instead of reacting before I think like I used to, because now I'm at a point in life is when you do that, I can control the outcome.
Yes. 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 And when they get it, they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
You
facts.
control
When they
you.
get yeah.
Nobody else do. You control what you do and say and how you do it. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm down to the last question, one of my least favorite parts of the show. After everything that you built, the music, the business, the brand, what does winning look like to you now?
Able, I am able to change situations in my life, my family life, my neighborhood, my place where I'm from. Cause I'm literally from the country where it's like two stoplights. Like we have no outlets. Like either you gonna go work and slave at a job in the mill or you gonna hit the streets. Like we don't have no type of outlets to where our kids or anybody can go learn trades, go learn, any type of stuff to teach them how to be other than what they see. So success look like to me to where, you know, I'm not gonna be like a lot of people, and this is just my personal opinion. When people come from where we come from and money is what's driving you, then when they get the money, they say it ain't all about money. Bro, stop saying that shit, bro. Cause it is. Like it's about money because the money is what helps changes people's situations. And that's just one of the things that I never vow to do and say that it's not about the money because it is about the money when you're trying to bring change to your community, to your people, to whatever, you know what I'm saying? So success look like that I become the first trillionaire from my area. That's what success is to me because then I know that I can control the narrative
Mhm.
and help maybe bring up the next black president or bring up the next black Bezos or whatever, man, because we don't have a chance. Like we don't have a chance. So that's what my vision of success is for me to become the first trillionaire. We can start with a billion, that's cool, but the first trillionaire where I'm from, and to be able to help bring change, and not only to my community, to help people like me and where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? But I have to start with where I'm from and then spread out.
That sound like I say that all the time. See, man, we had more than two stoplights though. Yeah, I'm from a small place called Mullen, South Carolina. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, I heard of Marlins. Yeah,
For real. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
hell yeah, yeah,
We finally on the map. We got
yeah,
more than two stoplights, but it's very
yeah,
small.
yeah.
I will never forget where I come. You can't forget where you come from. You
Nah,
got to go back and try to bring them up. So I
yeah,
want to be the first billionaire. You say trillionaire. I'm trying to be the first billionaire.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And listen, the thing about it is, I feel like once we um learn the blueprint of what's going on, then the billion is gonna come. But you
Mhm.
don't hear too much of trillionaires.
No,
You know what I'm saying? So like that Saudi Arabia money, that
mm-mm.
that Dubai money.
The buy money.
Man, listen what I'm saying, man. Like that's what we need. We need some of that over here. You know what I'm saying? So
Buy money.
just a country boy with that Dubai money, boy, they wouldn't know how to take me over here, man.
Okay.
They wouldn't know how to take me over here.
I'm gonna say that now. After you said, I'm gonna say I want that to buy money.
That Dubai money. That's what we want. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna pass the mic to you. I'm gonna do the countdown. This is your time to let everybody know anything you want them to know about the album that's out
Okay.
and what's coming up next for you. Anything you want to tell them, how to follow your journey. Give some advice to the young artists that are coming up for the young generation. So after the countdown, it's on you.
All right, for sure.
All right. What's up, everybody? First, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Breaking the Silence. Because without you, none of this would be possible. None of it. See, Breaking the Silence started off with my voice, me coming out of my shell, me finding me, and doing something I should have done a long time ago. But then as time went by, I was like, you know what? There's some amazing people out here doing amazing things that I want to shine the light on. So that's why you are here. So thank you so much for being a part of Breaking the Silence and continuing to break the silence for me. But now I gotta ask you to do me a favor, real quick. Can you share this episode with somebody that resonates with, and make sure you do two more things: subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss another episode. So let's get back into this episode.
Hey man, you already know what it is, man. It's Bigg Baggz, man, not little one, Mr. Interstate. First off, salute Breaking the Silence podcast for having me on here. Any message that I have for any artist that's coming up right now in the game, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. No matter what anybody tell you, if you get 1,000 no, just keep going. That one year gonna be able to change your life. I promise you, man. Don't nobody owe us nothing. You go out and get it. Make them believe who you is. And for everybody trying to tap in with me, catch up with me, everything is Bigg Baggz, Biggbaggz, all platforms. Right now, I got out 50K on every platform. I got my biggest fan on every platform. Today, my album dropped, Good X Evil, is on every platform. Go get it, like, share, follow. Tell your mama, tell your auntie, tell your cousin, tell your daddy, tell your kids. Look, we need to share it. You know, I already know what it is, man. Bigg Baggz, not the little one, Mr. Interstate. Ha!
Thank you so much for coming to be a guest. I can't wait to listen to the rest of the album. And I also do music promo, so I will look out for a music promo coming real soon with
Okay.
some of your songs all the way around. I'm do the album and everything. So look out
Yeah.
real soon. I'll do a music promo to bring more awareness.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow you back too. So keep me tapped in, collab with me, tag me, whatever. I'm with it. I share, like, we'll cross promo. I'm with all that, man. I'm with all that. Like, this is what made me. I'm from this. So one thing about it is I really know how I feel to grind and make your way up. So I salute you for having me on there, man. Salute this dope experience, man. Like I say, you got one of the best introductions. Like, it's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of podcasts need to take game from you, man. That's dope. Like, it's dope. It's dope.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we locked in.
Yeah,
And
for
it's big
sure.
for you no stranger now.
No. Listen, look, like I told you, I'm like, you from Merlin, I'm from Norwood. Listen what I'm telling you.
Real
Country.
country. Country. They don't know country. For real.
Country. Yeah.
But thank you. So thank you again. And thank you to everybody else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode. Go stream his songs. But he also has a website too. He didn't even say, you didn't even tell
Oh
him the
yeah. My bad. Look, right now, I,
website.
I know, man. We talking about all that good stuff. You feel me? Hey, listen, I got two websites. One website, go to mine, is biggbaggz.com. Biggbaggz.com. That's for you to catch up with me personally, to see all the stuff I did, tell you my story, catch you up. Then my other site is goodxevil.net. GOODXEVIL.net. evil.net. That's to go get my clothing line. That's what I'm wearing right now. Y'all go get some of this good and evil drip. I promise you. And we're gonna deliver it to your door. FedEx, UPS, mail. It don't matter, man. Look, y'all tap in with the kid, man. And look, salute Breaking the Silence podcast, man. One of the realest podcasts out here. Hi.
Thank y'all. And once again, I hope that today's conversation has reminded you that your voice still matters and your story can inspire others. So don't forget to subscribe, like this episode, share it. Please share it with anybody that you think it resonates with. So keep speaking your truth, embracing your journey, and what? Breaking the silence, because what? The world needs who? You and your story. So until next time, later, everybody.
Biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. Met her out of town, it was just a one night. She had a nigga tap just like the wire. She just wanna fuck, don't care if I'm a liar. She my biggest fan and she heard that it was fire. Can't find me like water, I do not answer the call. She love to go to the mall, ride by the house and call. Say that she love me and all. She got my pic on the wall. She never told what she saw. Make you come back like that raw. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. Fuck her so good, turn her to a stalk. Crazy DMs and she watching every fall. Yeah, she kinda crazy, but she look just like a mom. Head gang stupid and that pussy gold bottle. Don't talk nigga that loud. I do not go to the house. Hit it, gone out. You cannot get no clout. I send a boss to the house. I hit it, she been so loud. She every show out of town. All she do is follow me round. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up. She my biggest fan, she just wanna meet up.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BCS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nick, Nicole, the podcast where I share stories that inspire, empower, and help you find your voice. I'm your host, Arthur, Nick, Nicole, and each week I sit down with some incredible guests who are turning their pain into purpose and making an impact in the world today. Today, I am honored to welcome Black Diamond. She is a multi-award winning author, social worker, and a trauma-informed parent coach who is dedicated to helping others reclaim their power and rewrite their story. She has also been nominated for the Distinguished Authors Guild, led by Miss Gina Gadsden. So I'm not gonna tell y'all too much more. I'm gonna let her tell her story. So after her countdown, please welcome this amazing woman to the platform.
We'll be just fine. We'll be just fine.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. So tell everybody a little bit more about yourself that I haven't already said about you.
I'm one person that don't like to talk about myself. I love talking about other people in a good way. That's because I'm a podcaster. I as you mentioned, I am an author of several different books. I started off with my memoir. I have children's books, and they're on foster care and adoption. I am a social worker, so I know a little bit about it. I have parented 14 children, so I know a little bit about parenting and being a parent. And I currently am a trauma-informed parent coach. I am also the COO of Black House Communications on Roku, as well as the creator for Access Granted, also on Roku.
Okay, amazing. So tell me, when did you fall in love with the pen and the paper?
I didn't. It fell into my hands. I honestly did not. I did not want to be a writer. I wanted to go to school for law. I wanted to be an international judge. So the path that I have taken, I can just say only God. And there has been a reason, I believe, for the path that I have been on and the journey that I've been on. The pen and paper came about because I wanted my grandchildren to know about me, if I ever had any at the time. And the reason why I wanted them to know about me and it was so important for them to know is because at that time in my life, I was on the run. A hit was put out on me and my family, so we had to leave for a while. And at the time, I didn't have any grandchildren. My children weren't old enough to be to make me a grandparent. So I sat back and I was thinking that I didn't think that I was going to make it or survive. And I said, well, my children will make it. They will survive no matter what. And someday I'll have grandchildren. And I want them to know about me. And the only person I wanted to tell them about me was me. So I wrote my memoir. And when it came back, I was happy and pleased because I wanted to just give each one of my children a copy, but I didn't ever think that other people would be reading it. It wasn't the thing that was on my mind. It was just making sure that they had something from me. So that's how the pen and paper got to me. And I don't want to say it was a writing bug. Some people say, oh, well, you wrote your first book, so now you got the writing bug. Every book that I've written is an experience, something I either experienced personally or something that I created because it was a near close experience. So that's the way I got into the writing field.
Wow. So now, how does it feel to be nominated for the Distinguished Authors Guild?
You know, I've been nominated and I've won other awards, and I was very pleased to know that I had been. But when it came to the Distinguished Authors Guild, to me it was like being nominated for the BET Awards to me, because it seemed like this is the award above awards because it's for the authors and they're distinguished, and it's just the guild, it's everything wrapped up in one. So to call it the DAG Awards, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing, and to select my book, especially this book. A young lady who is one of the ambassadors, she suggested I not, enter the contest, and I said, nah, they're not going to want this book, not with this title. I would almost be embarrassed to put this up there with other books that may be spiritual. And I did, and it was nominated. So I'm very pleased that somebody took an interest and said, you know what, I guess there's something about this book.
Right. But you know what? It's always something that you step outside the box for that actually take off every time. Every time. So now you often talk about helping others rewrite their story. What's one moment in your own life that made you realize, you know what, my story need a new chapter?
Oh my gosh. There was another time that I was on the run. And it seems like there's always chapters that's happening in my life. It's not that I feel as though my story needs another chapter. Sometimes I feel like I've had enough. And then I question sometimes, and I don't question God. I don't dare to do that, because I feel like my aunts up in heaven would slap my mouth. So I just have a question for him. And the question is, why me? You know, someone said, why not you? I said, well, there's a brother over there. There's a sister over there. So you could have chosen one of them, and just to give me a little bit of break, because it seems like when things start to settle down, I'm right back at running for my life again. And I don't understand what's going on. I honestly don't. I said, I must have been some person in my last life that's causing me to keep running, because I had to, my family and I had to go into protection at a different time, something different. So it just seems like something's always happening. So when I get settled, I have to leave again. And that becomes a problem for me. And what's more than it being a problem for me, it was a problem for my children. That the minute they start to get close to people, start to have friends, start to feel stable, even to feel safe, we have to up and leave again. And I just got to the point that it just became normal for me. When people say, oh, let's just do something that's normal, I'm living a life that sometimes I don't feel like is normal. It's abnormal, because it seems like I'm just sitting around waiting for the curtain to fall again. And to tell you the truth, to be honest, I'm sitting here waiting for the curtain to fall again. And it has fallen. It has fallen in one of the worst ways that it has fallen. And I'm trying to pull myself together. I lost my son 2 months ago. So I'm just looking at that what else? Wake up tomorrow and be afraid to wake up. Sometimes I say, I can't wait to get out of this year, because this has been one of the worst years. I have to remember I said that last year, and look what happened this year. I got out of last year, but I walked into this year, but I barely made it, and my son is gone. So I'm afraid to even get up some mornings, because I just feel as though something else is going to happen, and I just sit and I wait. I try to move on with the things that I'm doing, because I love all the things that I'm doing, and I'm getting to the point where I don't totally trust, but I'm trying my best to trust the environment. I'm trying my best to trust people. Some may look at me and say, oh, she's so mean, or she's so stuck up or something. You haven't walked my journey. And I just have to see who I'm comfortable around, because it's an eerie feeling at times when you're not knowing if somebody is still out there. If somebody's watching your every move, do you have to look over your shoulders? And I don't want to sit in a place where I make other people uncomfortable. So a lot of times I stay home. I don't go places. But when I do go, I'm in and out. I'm originally from New York, but when I go, they say, I didn't even know you were here. No, you won't know that I'm there. I'm in and I'm out. Sometimes I'm at work. They don't even know I'm at work. And we share like almost cubicles. Well, at the time we shared cubicles and stuff. I'm in and out. You don't need to know my steps. I walk quietly and I feel better, because I adjusted my life to be what it is and whatever's going to happen. But I am a person that's always prepared. I'm always prepared. So if something was to happen, I know how to respond to it. So that's the thing that I say that I gained out of all of this, that I learned how to respond to it and my children learned how to respond to it. One of the things that was the worst thing that I ever had to do with my children, normally people teach their children about the birds and the bees and about counting and about, other little things, little quirky things that they may have. But what mother teaches their children how to play dead in the event that something happens? And I had to go through that process with my children for them to know how to lay in positions, how to position themselves in the event that somebody came and thought that they ended everybody, but they didn't, but you appeared that way. To tell them to make sure the car is already have the things that we need in them, to have the waters, the clothes, the blankets, everything that we needed to have that, to tell this one, you're in charge of that, you're in charge of this, you're in charge of that. If I'm not here, don't worry about it. Keep going. I'll meet you at the location that we agreed upon. If I'm not there, don't wait. Don't look for me. Keep going. So when people ask me about being an author is Maya Angelou, Nikki Giovanni, and those that are going to be at the DAG Awards. I just write. And that's my life experience. So this book here, The Habitual Liar, when they say that you said that's your life experience, was that you? Read the book and get to know me then you tell me whether you believe that character is me or not.
Wow. Whew. So first, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss of your son. I can't imagine how that feel. Just thinking about that, how that would feel, I probably lose my mind. So I do believe that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. I do believe that because Lord, sometimes I'll be like, why me? Like you said, why me? But like you said, why not you? Sometimes we have to be in certain positions in order for us to get to the next level. And sometimes we have to lose a lot. Sometimes we have to go through a Job experience just to get back to where we're supposed to be. So sometimes you feel like you're losing, but you're actually gaining in some cases. Sometimes.
Well, I'm not looking for the gain. I just want to I want to be me. I want to see me again in the mirror, because sometimes I don't recognize that me. I see the exhausted me, the person who's been through stuff, the person who at times have attitude, and I'm not saying it's rightfully so that I should have one, and it's not directed towards any one person. It's just I'm looking at it like, say, I'm just really exhausted. Why did you go through this today? Why did you do this instead of doing that? Why you just didn't take a break today? So that's where my exhaustion come from. Like today, I'm just running around doing things, and at the end of the day, I would say to myself, I didn't have to do that. I could have waited till tomorrow. But I've been to the point that I can't put off tomorrow what I could do today. In my life, I can't do that. When I was in college, when you're in a class, a lot of times they put you in groups to do assignments. I had to do my assignments way in advance because I never knew what was going to happen, because I knew that I was on a run, but they never knew. And I was still in college. I was able to finish and graduate from an HBCU, which I'm very proud of. But they never knew what was going on with me. So I just made sure all my work was done, because I didn't want my classmates to be stuck with an assignment that I didn't complete. And they wouldn't have known why. They would have just known I was gone, and they would have felt a certain kind of way. And I know they would have, and they would have had every right to feel that way. So I always did things in advance. And that's why I showed up on your show earlier today, because I'm just an early person. I just like to just be there in the event of something happening, that I just try to get there early, because if something is going to happen, at least someday I can leave a note, a letter, or something for someone. That's just the way that I live now.
Whew, man. So now you wear so many titles and so many hats: author, social worker, coach, survivor, all these titles. Which version of yourself had to die? so that this version of yourself could live?
I would say my childhood had to die. I would honestly say my childhood had to die, because I don't remember before a certain age, which I should have. And I have relatives that tell me about things that happened, and I just honestly tell them I don't remember. I don't remember certain things. I don't remember that ever happening. But there are things that I do remember within certain eras. But I think I know why that died, and that's because I think that I'm afraid of going back to that hurt. So what I do is, I have a big picture. It's, if I can hold my arm up, it stands from the floor that high to maybe where my shoulder is. And my children keep saying, "Let me put it on the wall," and I say, "No." It's a picture of myself. I was about 6 years old, and I say, "Don't put it on the wall." And they said, "Well, why, Ma? Why you don't want this picture on the wall?" I said, "Because I need for her to be at that level. Because if she's above me, I can never tell her that I'm sorry for the life that she had. So I have to keep her there because she's a child there, and I can look at her. And when I go out the door every day, I can apologize by just looking over my shoulder and just saying that I'm sorry for the life that you have, but the life that you're going to have is going to be unbelievable." And I share those little quiet moments when people are not looking, as far as what I'm doing, where I'm going. And that's just therapy for me. And one of the things I've learned to do was learn how to parent myself. Not to say that I didn't have good parents. That's a different type of parenting. And that's one of the courses that I teach, how to parent yourself. And I feel good about myself. I feel good about looking at that picture. I feel good that there was a time when I found the picture of my godmother, who's also my cousin. I joke with her and call her my fake godmother, but she's actually my godmother, and I love her. We just have this little joke that we say to each other. She happened to find that picture. She sent it, and I said, "It's funny because I don't have many baby pictures of myself. I think I have maybe 3, and I often wondered why I didn't have any other baby pictures." So that particular picture, I had it blown up. And I look at it and I look in the eyes of that picture and I say, "There's sadness back there. I never noticed that." I said, "But I guess because I had it blown up, and I guess because the field that I'm in, I'm able to look at it differently than I did prior to me getting into the field." I just looked at it and said, "Oh, that's a picture of me." But I challenge individuals to find a picture of themselves, to go back at a certain age, one that they feel comfortable with. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Take that picture and blow it up, and then look in the eyes of that picture and see what you see there. See what you see in that picture. And in that picture, for me, there was sadness. And that's the part that I think that had died a long time ago. And I'm going to make it up to her as much as I can. And every day that I go out the door and I come back and I'm feeling good about something, I say, I can never give you back the time that you deserve, but I'm trying to make you proud of us, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm clearing the path for you. And that's all I can say about myself and about my picture. People, they don't understand me. And I said, that's okay, because I'm not here for you to understand me. I'm here to please myself. And myself is in my house in an area that I know she's safe. And I just say to her all the time, "You're safe." Now, the adult me may not feel as safe, but I make sure that she's safe. And I said to others, it may sound crazy. I said, it's therapy for me. And it feels good to see that picture every day. And there's some parts of it, I feel that there's a little smile coming about, that you're feeling better about yourself, that I'm making you feel safe. And maybe you're getting some answers that maybe I had then that I'm not aware of. I understand it's just a picture. Somebody may be saying, "This woman lost her mind. It's just a picture." For me, it's not just a picture. There was a lot in the eyes of that child that I didn't know existed, and I see it and I feel it sometimes. So I'm feeling good that I'm in this position now to be able to parent myself. And I would say parent myself without therapy, but I'm not telling anybody else not to go through therapy. I have been in therapy, and me being in therapy, well, for different reasons. One, grief therapy, when my husband passed almost 20 years ago. And that's when his body laid in the morgue for 3 weeks and nobody told me. But he had ID on him that I could have identified him. And I've mentioned this story over and over again. Next November will be 20 years, and I still don't know what happened. So I have to go through that. Now I'm sitting and waiting. It's been almost going on 3 months, and my son has passed away, and they're telling me that it takes 9 months. I'm sorry, it takes 90 days for them to be able to tell me what happened because they need to read the autopsy. It's just too much. So it's just too much. All in one state, all of this is happening, and I say, here we go again. I'm not running in the sense that I was before, but I'm leaving because I've had just about enough of the things that's happening here. But I'm going to a place that I've been and I visited a while, and I think that that's going to be the last time that I move. And I'm just going to be pleased. I'm very happy about the move. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I'm happy about it. I can pack my clothes and put them in boxes and label them and not just run with whatever I can. I've lost most of my wedding gifts in some of those houses, a lot of my children's things. One of the things that I left that I wish I could have kept with me was that oval cradle for my son when I had him. And it was, I saw it on a soap opera and I said, oh my God, I want one of those cradles. And I saved my money and I got it. And when I had my son, he was able to lay in it. I had to leave that behind. It was an iron cradle. It was so heavy, if it fell, it would have probably broke your foot. I wanted to pass it down, but I had to leave it. We couldn't carry it, but we had to take what we could. So we took what we could. But I went into therapy again and have been in therapy for a little bit more than 5 years. And that was because of the book that I've written, The Habitual Liar. I had to go into therapy for that book because I almost lost myself in that book. I had to become the character to a degree. And I like for me to get them the authentic side of something. I want to make sure that my readers get the best of me and the best of what I do. So I try to have an experience or know about something before I put it out. I don't want to write something, put it out there, and it's crap. Or put it out there just because I want to say I'm an author, or put it out there because I want to make a dime. I don't write like that. I have to experience it or know some knowledge or do a lot of research. And with this book, it put me in a lot of research and a lot of therapy. And I could have lost myself, but I thank the psychiatrist and I thank the therapist for taking this journey, because just to tell them I need them to be here for that. I didn't really think that they would help me, but they've helped me more than they would ever know to be able to get this book done. And now I'm working on book 3. Several people saying, what, no book 2? Well, no, there is no book 2. There's a thing 2. And I don't tell nobody what that is or anybody what that is because I'm just so proud of it. So I just can't wait for it to present itself and just to move on from there. So I'm just really happy. I do have some things that I'm looking forward to and things and projects that I'm working on with some wonderful people.
So out of all the books that you have written, now I know you probably say all of them mean something because they were all the experience. Which one is your most favorite and most meaningful book that you've written?
The one that is my most favorite is L3, Learn, Love, and Lead, because I co-wrote that book with some wonderful authors. But one of the authors was my 96-year-old mother, who is now 100. So we co-wrote that book with some wonderful individuals. And that's my favorite because I was able to share the time with her and to do things with her. And she's been in magazines and she's had book signings and she's all about her. She really was. And that's something that legacy for me. So I enjoy doing the book with her and knowing that we're in something together. So that's something that I always have and I always love. And I thank the author for allowing me to be able to do that with my mother.
Nice. I love it. So now you said legacy. Now your mother left that legacy for you. So now my question is, what legacy do you hope to leave through, your books, coaching, and your platforms? What legacy do you hope to leave behind?
My legacy for my children is my children, is what they're giving me because they have pulled me through so much. And without them, I don't know if I would be sitting in front of you today. They've gotten me through it. They talked me through a lot. At one time when I was present, but I wasn't present. And they helped me through that moment. And it may have been many moments, but I know that was one that I actually remember. And that was, again, when my husband passed away. I thought my life was done. And they got me through it. And just knowing that I'm a grandma, a nana, and whatever other ones that they call me. I got so many different names for each grandchild. They call me something different. But I respond to because I know they're talking about me. So just for them to live their best life in a way that they know that they can be proud of and that their children could be proud of them. You know, lessons learned will go a long way as you go your way. So I just want that to be my legacy. Every day, whatever I'm doing, if they're around me when I'm doing it, then I want that to be a part of the legacy. Whatever little nuggets they can get from me, you should add it up to be a part of your legacy because you need to pass it on to your children. I'm hoping I'm living, I'm not a Bible thumping person. I'm hoping I'm living a decent enough life for them to be proud of me, for them to be able to pass it on to their own children.
Wow, I love it. So if your pen, when you write with it, could talk, what would it say about the woman that's holding it?
It would say, "What now? What now?" Like just expecting anything. What now? What happened this time? And I sometimes I feel like that when I'm doing a pen. It's like, what now? Like, my God, you know, what now? But when I write, I don't write like I guess the ordinary person. Things just come to me and I just write. I don't think of a certain book to write or I want to write this book or things like that. Something has to happen around me in order for me to be able to write a story. And I have many stories in my head for things that has happened. Some are asking, why didn't you go back and write book 2 of this, that, or the other? Because something else has happened. And that's just the way it happens for me. Something has happened and I have to write about that. And it's usually the case with me. Something has to happen. Not me wishing something would happen in a negative way. And it could be positive things like the children's book on foster care and adoption. That to me, I felt as though that was positive. It gives layman terms to prospective foster or adoptive parents so they can understand the journey of foster care and adoption. And then there was 1380 Prospect Avenue. I loved writing that book because my siblings and my relatives who are older than me grew up at 1380 Prospect Avenue, not another Bronx deal. It wasn't the Bronx, New York. And I would always hear the stories that they would talk about. And I got jealous because I wasn't born in that time. You know, they would always say there was a time when we could leave our front door open and come back and our furniture was still in here. Or Mr. So-and-so can bring you home and they were able to give you a consequence and your parents didn't mind. But now you can't leave your front door open without all your furniture being gone. Shoot, your walls may be gone.
Okay.
Or Mr. So-and-so can't bring you home because mom is ready to fight Mr. So-and-so. Or either dad is ready to stand in the door with a shotgun. Life is different now. And I didn't have exactly what they had. It wasn't bad during the time that I grew up either. The neighborhood I grew up in was a wonderful neighborhood. But I wanted to know more about their time. You know, it just seemed like it was just so much fun with the names. There was so many of them. And it was family like family was never before. So I took the address and I made it into the book that's showing there at 1380 Prospect Avenue. I made it my own. I wanted to be part of 1380 Prospect Avenue. So I did my own stuff, but I used some of the street names that they talked about. The places like the Grand Concourse. In my book, it's called Concourse Village. Morrisania Avenue is Morrisania, one of the group homes. The name of one of the group homes is in the book. In the book, you know, with them talking about themselves and how they were with each other and the friends that they had. Their friends was like family. Everybody knew each other's family name. Well, in this book, we talk about foster care again and adoption, but they were talking about teenagers. And teenagers are the hardest to place because they're stereotyped. All teenagers are not the same. All teenagers are not that bad. Now, I know that I talk about my teenagers. Well, I only have 2 of them now. But I talk about them, and one is a boy and one is a girl. So some people ask me, which one was easier to raise? I said neither one. They all had their challenges in different ways. So I can't say it's easier to raise girls. I can't say it's easier to raise boys. When you're dealing with girls, you're dealing with heartbreak. When you're dealing with boys, you're dealing with them breaking hearts. So you're still dealing with certain issues. So I can't say either one is easier to raise. They all have different things at different times, and there's different generations as far as ages with them. They come from age 3 to age 49. So those that are in the older group, they think that the ones that are younger got it better from me than they ever had. You know, and I said, I tell them, I said, I understand where you're coming from, because I thought that with my siblings, that they had it better than I had, because they had all the grandparents and I didn't get a chance to know them or meet them, you know, but I don't really know what life was like for them growing up with the grandparents. Were they stern? Because maybe I got away with a little bit more now because it was a little easier now. I don't know. So I do kind of get what they're saying, but I tell them that each and every one of you get the same thing, because now I hear them saying it to their children. And I walk away being proud that they were listening. They were listening. They didn't act like they were, but they were listening, because I hear what they're saying to their children. So somewhere along the line, they got it. And so that's what makes it good for me.
I really believe that you'll never depart from your teachings. You know, when we're children, we're in our own way. We're like, you know, I can't wait till I get 18 and do my own thing and this, that, and the fourth. Worst statement to ever make. And then when you become an adult and those bills start beating you up and jumping you and everything coming from which way, then you start reverting back to what mama said. Well, you know, mama did tell me it would be days like this, but I didn't believe her.
Nope.
I thought I was gonna get out here and have it good. You know, I was gonna be all right because I was 18. So you never depart from your teachings. You know, you come back, and I done told my mom many times, Mom, you know what? You said this was gonna happen. I should have listened. Because we all can be hard
Oh,
headed.
yeah.
We all can be hard headed and not listen. And then just go through the things anyway. And mama tried to stop us from touching the hot heater.
My
But we
mother saying, she used to always say that you're young for such a short period of time, but you're an adult for the rest of your life. And she has never ever lied about that. You can't go back. You always say, oh, I had to go back. I wish I was this age, but I have one that's turning 18 in January. And I don't know whether I'm celebrating more than she is. So I say, well, it's just one more officially after that. But I tell her that you're going to get the same gift from me that everybody else got. And I guess she's wondering what it is. And I don't know whether they told her, but I make sure they all get a shoebox. And in that shoebox is a copy of all of their personal information, their birth certificate, social security card, immunization records, every little thing that they need is in there. Of course, I'm not going to give them the original because they're going to lose it. They're children. No matter how old they are, they're still children. And I'll say, happy birthday. Here you go. And I do because that means you're on your own and you're out my door. So that's just the way. You see this black file cabinet behind me? That's full of their stuff. That's their birth certificate, social security card, report cards, diplomas, everything, copies of everything. Look, it's been 14 of them, so I needed a file cabinet because information is still in there that they need. Driver's license information, copies of insurance cards. It's here. It's here. So they all know how to obtain their stuff if they need it. But I should start doing like the DMV and the health department, start charging them for a copy. I probably could retire as many times as they've come back to ask me for a copy of something, because somebody's always, Ma, do you have this? You know where it's at. It's downstairs. Just make sure you put the original back, make a copy of it. The machine is right over there. Put it right back where it belongs, because I don't feel like thumbing through it and you're going to need it again. So that's my money maker back there. So
that's a good point.
It's been a journey though with the children. It has really been a journey.
Yes. So now we're down to my least favorite part of the show, the last question. So if your silence could speak, what story would it tell?
If my silence could speak, what story would it tell? It would probably say, forgive me, God, for the things that you may have wanted me to do and I didn't do them in the way that you wanted me to do them. Some of the things that I've done that I don't think he knew, but I know he knows everything. So that's one person. I'm sorry. I'm very fearful of him. So I would apologize a million times plus to him for anything that I've done or that he knows I'm getting ready to do. So I'm asking for the apology already because I know it's probably something I'm going to do that he wouldn't want me to do that I'm probably going to do. So I think that that's one of the things that I would have to say.
That's true. So now I'm gonna pass the mic to you. So after the countdown, this is your time to let everybody know how to purchase all of your books, how to follow your journey, all the good stuff about you, anything you want them to know, and get them a little bit of advice, about life. Because to me, the younger generation is still lost, and they think they know, but they got to keep living. Sometimes you got it's buy and buy, like my mom always said, keep living, buy and buy. So after the countdown, I'm passing the mic to you, and it's your moment to shine. What's up, everybody? First, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Breaking the Silence. Because without you, none of this would be possible. None of it. See, Breaking the Silence started off with my voice. Me coming out of my shell, me finding me. And doing something I should have done a long time ago. But then as time went by, I was like, you know what? There's some amazing people out here doing amazing things that I want to shine the light on. So that's why you are here. So thank you so much for being a part of Breaking the Silence and continuing to break the silence with me. But now I got to ask you to do me a favor. Real quick. Can you share this episode with somebody that resonates with? And make sure you do two more things. Subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss another episode. So let's get back into this episode.
Hi again, and I want to thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I appreciate being on Breaking the Silence. It means a lot to be on this show. It means a lot to be able to share my journey because there's somebody else out there that could have been through the same thing that I have been through. But I don't look at it as a sadness or anything. I look at it as growth. And I appreciate, in some sense, the journey that I've been on because it does help me. It helps with my children. It helps me to direct them in the right direction and for them to understand that I've been through some things, but she's never going to lead us in the wrong place. And she's going to understand where we come from. And how I understand it also is because of the job that I have. I worked with children who were in foster care, have been adopted, or who have been out on the street at some point in time. And I've learned a lot from them. And they taught me so much that I passed that on to everyone. And I was able to walk in their shoes one time when I did the trash bag challenge. Even though I was an adult, I walked the streets for a month as if I was a homeless person, just so I would understand where they were coming from. And I did. So I tell you, and I behoove those who don't feel as though that will never happen to me. I'm not going to say the old cliche, we're only a paycheck away. We're only a step behind where they are. And I would just say to take care of yourself and to take care of each other because you really should take care of one another. People ask how to connect with me. You can connect with me on Facebook at Author Black Diamond or Instagram at basic_black, or you can visit basicblack.com where you'll find all of the books that I've written, all the things that I have. I also do candles. I make candles. We have the bedroom candles, and we also have the habitual liar candles out. So you can catch that on my page. You can cash at me at $basicblack08, or again, you can go to my website. You can do PayPal at Black Diamond ENTPR. Now, Black is spelled different. It's spelled BLAQUE. Black is my name. It's not the color, even though it's pronounced the same way. Or you can email me at basicblackessentials@gmail.com. So I appreciate again being on this podcast, being on this show. And congratulations again, if I haven't said it, to all the DAG nominees. And thank you to the ambassadors who have gotten me through this journey. And to Dr. Carolyn Stevens, I want to thank you also. And for all the websites that I have been able to connect with and the podcasts I've been on, it meant a lot to me. And especially to you, Gina, for opening up this opportunity for authors who I'd say are authors, because I've read many of their books and many of them have been on my podcast, Basic Black After Dark. And I'll see you guys on November the 7th. And again, take care of yourself. And thank you again for allowing me to be on this show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to support me on this journey. If there's anything that I can do on my end to further push you through, we're connected. Let's stay connected and let's win together, because we got to have each other back out here. We got to.
Yes, we do.
So thank you so much.
So,
and
are you going to be there November 7th?
I won't be this year. I was hoping I was going to be, but I ended up starting a new job. So I was like, I can't go. I thought I would be able to go.
Well,
But
maybe you can catch the virtual show,
I will.
because I understand it's going to, so hopefully you'll catch it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Miss Gina how can I chime in on that show, because a lot of the authors have asked me, are you gonna be there? I was like, no, I think I'm not gonna be there this year. So maybe
Well, go to Eventbrite. If you go on to Eventbrite, look on DAG, and you should see I think it's the virtual link maybe on there as well. Or either contact Gina, she can give you all the information.
Okay, I'll do that. But thank you once again. And like I said, if there's anything I can do to help you on my end, please don't hesitate. Reach out to me and let me know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And thank you to everybody else that's tuning into this amazing episode. I hope that today's conversation has reminded you that your voice matters and your story can inspire others. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with someone it resonates with. Keep speaking your truth, embracing your journey, and breaking the silence, because guess what? The world needs who? You and your story. So until next time, stay focused, stay determined. Later.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space that'll raise my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate when I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm nicking the cold, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.